Hello class, welcome back to week 2 of Geography 4185 and 5185. Really we're at the point in the course where we're developing some foundational ideas that we're going to carry forward. So we're looking at the building blocks here. We're not looking at advanced concepts, at least not yet. So what we're doing right now in our week 2 is looking at the concept of probability. What is probability? What does it mean in terms of the work that we can do coming out of it? So probability is certainly a central idea for the course. It's going to keep on coming up, so we need to deal with it now, and we need to deal with it well so that we can do other things leading out of it. I will point out there's a side discussion on math notation that I'm providing as a supplemental video that contributes to the discussion today and some of the things that we'll be covering in our week 2. So it would probably be a good idea for you to have a look at that supplemental video on math notation available from our Canvas website before you dig into this week's topics. I'm anticipating that a lot of that math notation is familiar to many, if not all of you, but I just want to make sure that everyone in the course has got some basic explanation as to what the notation means that we're using when we write out mathematical expressions. So coming out of that, there's a couple of ideas of probability that we need to get straight. Theoretical probabilities and empirical probabilities. So theoretical probabilities in brief are probabilities that we know in advance, while empirical probabilities are based on experiment. So we'll discuss the meaning of that, what significance that has for our work. Both of those kinds of probabilities are important. It's just that they mean different things. So once we've established that, a few topics that we'll be looking at through the week: communicating probabilities, how do we talk about them well, how do we combine probabilities, we'll talk about the meaning of that, and then there's the idea of frequency distribution, which is very powerful and something that we will definitely encounter at multiple points during the course. So basically a graphical means of displaying the characteristics of a probability. So frequency distribution, definitely something that we need to get straight before we go any further. So on the theoretical frequency distribution side, there's a couple of common distribution types that we're going to come up against over and over, and so we need to get those defined well. The normal distribution, or the bell curve, that many of us have encountered before, is something that we need to define and discuss in terms of its importance in experimental research. So we'll do that. And then there's a counterpart distribution that's also a theoretical distribution that we need to deal with and understand. That's the Poisson distribution. So those are a lot of the main topics, I guess, that we'll be covering this particular week. As we conclude, we'll deal with something called parametric and non-parametric statistical methods, and that does relate back to the whole idea of theoretical frequency distributions. So we'll cover that. And there's something called a z-score that also is something that, like virtually everything that we're talking about this week, has importance that we'll talk about and use in the weeks ahead. So everything that we're talking about this week is basic and foundational in character, and is something that we just need to cover and understand well. And so that's why we're doing it early in the course. So I welcome seeing you in class. I hope things are going well so far. Please, if at any point in the semester you have any questions about any of the readings or any of the things that we're talking about in class, feel free to just contact me. We can meet, we can discuss, I want to make sure that you're feeling comfortable with the things that we're talking about, especially the stuff in weeks 1, 2, and 3. There's just so much basic stuff that we need to build on for the rest of the course. We got to get this stuff done now, and doing it right. So thanks for being along. I look forward to seeing you in class and communicating further with you on Zoom and email and all the other good things. So take care. We'll talk soon. Bye now.